adjustment. I'll see if that works.
Okay. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician.
I have the sound on
The
both
FDA
formats.
requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases.
1 minute
As an
till
empowered
showtime.
individual, you have options available. We are
According to my
honored to have
computer
one of the
clock.
founding fathers of epigenetics.
Okay, I'll just
here
have to
guide
load
us
it afterwards.
with the best
So I
options
am
to obtain or maintain.
I am recording
optimal
it
health.
here.
Dr. Joel Wallach.
I do show I have
to
sound
Daily
here.
With Doc and Becca.
Yes, you have sound here.
So we're just gonna go with it.
Okay.
And hold on one moment.
All right. I'll leave the sound up until it comes on. And then you let me know when you hit record.
Oh yeah, you have to record.
Yes.
Please start recording.
Okay. Recording on Zoom. Record to the cloud.
Oh, it's not gonna let you.
I'll record to my computer and I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Got it. I got it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome everybody. So excited to have you all come and join us today. You are plugging into Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am excited to be the hostess of this program each and every Monday through Friday from noon to 1, where the program is sponsored by Daily with Doc.
Pacific time.
I'm sorry?
Pacific time.
Pacific time. Yes, noon to 1 Pacific time. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, for keeping me straight. We don't want anybody to be confused. So if you are noon to 1 Pacific time and you're in South Africa, let him in the room. There we go. So if you're in South Africa, it's 11 o'clock at night. But if you're on the East Coast, it is 3 o'clock Pacific, or 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Mountain, and noon Pacific time, where we air dailywithdoc.com. You are welcome to join us live. Just go to dailywithdoc.com and you will find the little form there where you can request your very own invitation to the program, where you can also go to dailywithdoczoom.com and get plugged in with us here live. So excited to see so many people jumping on and joining us. You guys are fabulous. I love the fact that people are really getting tuned into wanting to know what they can do on their own to help themselves. And that's what this program is all about in providing. I do want to remind everybody that the content of this program is to provide nutritional education information only. I do want to remind everybody that this program is to provide for informational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. And the FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, though, we have options. And to guide us, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics here. And if you're not familiar with epigenetics and you have been told that you have a genetic condition, you're in the right place for hope, because this gentleman has proven that there are no genetic diseases. Dr. Joel Wallach started out as a veterinarian. He was actually a student in a pathology lab and worked and got his degree in agriculture, and then went on to be a veterinarian with a doctorate in veterinary medicine, doing some really big projects around the world, where he also acquired 3 postdoctorates in pathology. And because of one of his findings, the cure and the solution, the cause and the cure, he was fired. And that opened up the door for him to be able to teach nutrition at a naturopathic college, which then he decided, hey, why not I be one as myself? I love that story, Dr. Wallach. So welcome, Dr. Joel Wallach, to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you so much, Becca. And of course, the reason I got fired, I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, a very terrible birth defect. And I found it in a rhesus monkey that was going to go into space with NASA. They had at the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I sent around some slides of the lungs and the liver and tissues and so forth. But I didn't tell them the slides were from a monkey. I just said, I think this is cystic fibrosis, the way to think. And all these medical schools agreed, classic example. And I had it on their letterheads. And of course, the people at Yerkes were excited. I said, well, yeah, at the very least, we got a laboratory animal here now, okay, so we can study cystic fibrosis. And then I got permission to do tests on the other 24 baby monkeys out there. There's all different mothers and fathers, and they all had cystic fibrosis because the people who were in charge of the diets of the monkeys took them all off of the pellets because they're plucking their hair and all that kind of stuff. They said, well, they have too much time. They just eat the pellets and they're not hungry. So they took away their pellets with all the vitamins and minerals in it and just gave them carrots and raisins and things like that. So they're busy all day eating vegetables and fruit and so forth. And so that's why all the babies had cystic fibrosis. And then the next one, they all had cystic fibrosis. And that's when I said it's not a genetic thing. And I showed it to them because I was going to give a talk at a federal meeting, and they fired me. That's when I went back to school and taught, the short version is I taught nutrition, also took courses. I got credit for some of my veterinary courses, like biochemistry and that kind of stuff. And let's see here. Before that, when I was, as you say, I was working my way through veterinary school by working in the pathology department. It was Christmas of 1963, a year before I graduated veterinary school, and all the professors were gone. And I'm working in the pathology department because needed money to pay for tuition and books and so forth. And this farmer came by and he dropped off 50 dead lambs. I said, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" He says, "Well, yesterday I had 500 lambs, and we're going to share them just after Christmas because they're 6 months old, and then after New Year's we're going to take them, to slaughter." And he said they're all happy yesterday, following the wagon and jumping in and out of the feed bunks as we're putting feed in there for them. And this morning they were all dead. 500 were dead. And it turns out that the neighboring farms have been using high levels of nitrates as fertilizers, which drained into their water supply. And they were drinking nitrate contaminated drinking water for 6 months. Their thyroids were dead. And the night they all died, the temperature dropped down to 16, and they all died of hypothermia because their thyroids couldn't help them maintain their body temperature. So I wrote it all up, got it published in a veterinary journal, and that started the whole thing. Very, very excited. And so I pay attention to a lot of details that most people don't. Okay, so that's why I'm able to figure things out. Of course, we have a 75-year right now. That's epigenetics. That's a summary of my thesis, which is in the Smithsonian Institute on those 20,000 autopsies. And my thesis, sells for $25,000 each if it's still in the let's see, if it's still in the package and not unwrapped yet and so forth. And you can go on Siri and ask Siri, are there any of my books, Disease of Exotic Animals, available for sale? And you can find them all beat up. The dog has peed on them and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of writing in the margins and dog-eared. And you can get them for $1,500, $3,000, $5,000, $8,000. And it's still too much for a lot of people. So we came up with a summary of all that information, and it's called Epigenetics, the Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And that one sells for $25. And so I got another secret coming out here. I'll tell you in a couple of days, maybe next week, because we got another thing happening here in that subject. But at any rate, this just came out about a month ago, the Wallach revolution. This is actually the second, okay? This is the second printing. It was put together by a committee of medical doctors, PhDs, and attorneys who didn't want to be named, so they just called themselves the Committee for Good Health or something like that. And that was the first one. And it was just a beautiful thing. And so we added, 2 years later, we added a whole lot of information to it. And this version covers 75 years. We have very famous people like Danny Glover, Pat Boone, Andy Young, Theo Ratliff. Let's see here. Also, Evander Holyfield, many famous people in health issues and sports and so forth, writing their parts, their stories in here. Okay, so it's a wonderful thing. We're very proud of that, and that's available now. Let's see here. Okay, the Wallach Revolution, and there's two stories I want to jump into now, which are very current. One of which goes back a couple of weeks ago now. Bruce Willis, very famous actor. Okay, Bruce Willis, a Die Hard, one of my favorite movies and TV series, a detective. Okay, Bruce Willis. He developed FTD, frontal temporal dementia. It's kind of an Alzheimer's disease, and also almost like MS in certain parts of the brain. And I guarantee you it's because he was told to go on a cholesterol restricted diet. He may have even been given a prescription of statin drugs to lower cholesterol because he may have had high blood pressure or something like that. And it turns out that, let's see here, because of all this, okay, it affected the white matter in his brain, the myelin in his brain, okay? And he has aphasia. He can't speak well. He can't read anymore. He can't remember anything. He can't solve simple problems. Okay. And this is one of those things where, let me get my light here. This is one of those things where, he also has vertigo, balance problems, Parkinson's disease, all of which are white matter loss, okay, in the brain. And so what I want to do for Bruce Willis is everybody needs to write him a letter or send him an email. We want him to get off all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go, and also carbonated water, no alkaline water. And then I want him to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose twice a day, 2 bottles of MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner. They're going to support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone, mixed bone itself, including the skull. And then I want him to have the I-26. He needs to take one of those with each meal, or 3. Rebecca likes to take them all at one time, so 3 at lunchtime. Okay, they're chewable. I wouldn't say they're super sugary or anything like that, but they're pleasant. You know, they're not bitter or anything like that. Okay, so 3 of the chewable I-26, and then 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. And then it wouldn't hurt to throw in the synaptives, 2 bottles a month of the synaptive, so he can take 3 twice a day, so his brain can talk, his brain cells can talk to each other. And also, he also needs, let's see here, memory FX, 3 of those twice a day. I believe we can bring him back. Okay. Then the other one is a little bit different story, but it also affected the brain. Tom Sizemore, many people won't recognize that name. Let's see here. Bruce Willis is 67 years old, and he's spiraling downwards. Okay. Tom Sizemore, last Thursday, a couple of days ago, died at 61 2 days ago. Okay. After having a ruptured aneurysm in the brain. When they did an MRI in his brain, he said, this is a mess in there because of the big artery and the blood squirting tore up the brain, so he's not going to live. And it did. He died 3 days later. But he was a very famous actor. He made 200 movies: Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, let's see here, born on the 4th of July, Pearl Harbor. He was kind of a star on the Twin Peaks TV series in 200 movies. Okay. And again, the ruptured aneurysm is caused by a deficiency of a single nutrient. So these two guys are suffering from all these brain issues from nutritional deficiencies. I guarantee you their doctors were telling them what to do, what to eat, what not to eat, and that sort of stuff. And, they felt confident because their doctor was saying it. And, but they chose poorly. And Bruce Willis is still alive, and we hope that his family gets this information because many people are hearing it, and I hope everybody emails them and have them contact us so we can save Bruce Willis. So with all that said, okay, I want everybody to really, really think about this. You can eat well, but see, plants don't make minerals. Plants can make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids, which are all carbon compounds, but plants do not make minerals. Nutritional minerals occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. No, they occur in veins like gold and silver. Okay, and it used to be the most fertile land was bottomland. That's why it was so expensive, and families would never, somebody would die who in their family had bottomland, they wouldn't put it on sale. They kept track of it for themselves. Okay, bottomland. That's because it was flood every spring. When the floodwater was recede, it left a silt that the floodwaters had brought down from the mountains. The farmers would plow it in and renew the soil's mineral content from the previous year when all of the crops sucked the minerals out of the soil. Okay, and so really, in addition to the book, the Wallach Revolution and Epigenetics, I also want you to get a hold of the book. It's all in your head. There's 37 different diseases you can get. You have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, there you go. And the top skull is a quarter of an inch thick. You have to move that a little bit to your right. There you go. No, to your right.
It's centered on my screen, Doc. Go ahead.
Okay, but your screen is covered by everybody else. Okay. So, and then of course, the bottom skull is an inch and a half, 2 inches thick. That's the one that has the osteoporosis of the skull. And all these things have enormous impact on the health and longevity of the individual. And so we're so glad that people are jumping in and saying, hey, this makes sense. And so we can help people add 25 to 50 healthy years to their life. Think of that. 25 to 50 healthy years to your life, get rid of a lot of unnecessary misery, increase the quality of your life. I mean, come on. And so when you get misinformation, it's one of those things where somebody pays the price. All right. And it's one of those things where the patient pays the price when they're getting this information. So let's see here. I do want to remind everybody that I think I got, do I have 5 or 10 more minutes, Becca?
You're the boss, Doc.
Okay.
But we do have questions, so let's leave time for questions.
Okay. Are we ready for questions? Or?
Yeah, we have questions up ready.
Okay, well, let's go for questions.
Okay, well, we have our lovely co-host with a question here who is bringing it from our chat. So Marilyn, go ahead and unmute yourself first.
Okay, hi everyone. I have a woman by the name of Lynn that's saying, good afternoon. I have a customer that has lymph node cancer. It's currently taking chemo. He had stomach cancer several years ago. He's a male, height 5'9", weight 200, approximately 30 to 40 years old, and he's nauseous, tired, and depressed.
Well, I can see why. 2 different cancers. Okay. So anyway, he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. He needs to get a hold of my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Food. It's 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Okay. Then he needs to get on 2 of our Healthy Brain and Heart packs a month, the full dose of everything twice a day. He needs 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone breaks, including the bone marrow, where the white blood cells and antibodies are made, which are going to go kill and eat the cancer cells. Okay, very important. Let's see here. Then he also needs to be taking the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with his morning drink, a scoop of that with his evening drink, and it's collagen from, let's see here, fish, poultry, sheep, and beef, and also helps support the immune system. And then, let's see here. I also want him, to again get a hold of that book so he can know what bad foods to avoid, including carbonated water, gluten, no wheat, butter, and oats. There are no such things as safe wheat, butter, and oats. Well, my doctor says eat more whole grains. Well, your doctor's giving you misinformation. Gluten will kill you. Okay, it destroys the little villi in your intestines, so you cannot absorb nutrition. You lose 90% of your absorptive surface. You cannot have buckwheat. Buckwheat doesn't have any gluten in it. It says it right on the label, no gluten, but it does have phagopyrenes, F-A-G-A pyrines, which are worse than gluten. So you have to stay away from all the bad stuff and take these nutrients, support your immune system. You can add many, many health years to your life.
Can I ask one question, Dr. Wallach? Sure. What about herbs that have like a name with oat in it, like oat straw? Does it actually have oats in it?
No, you cannot have the grain or the straw. You cannot have anything with oats or barley or rye or wheat. You cannot have the breakfast of champion. You cannot have oatmeal. You cannot have pancakes or waffles made from those things. You cannot have oatmeal porridge unless you want to kill yourself 25 years early.
Yeah, I was just always wondering with herbs because I have cat's claw, and I'm like, does that have cat's claw actually in it? So that's why I asked.
Well, if it says it has cat's claw, it's got to have cat's claw in there. Okay.
Cat's claw is an herb, not the actual claw. Thank you. From the herbalist side of me.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question though, Marilyn. Thank you so much for bringing that question. Now, Dr. Wallach, we have, oh goodness, we probably have over 100 questions that have been emailed in. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of those here as well. And Paul has a question. He says, I am 5'7", 230 pounds, 53 years old. I have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, along with neck, back, knee, foot, shoulder pain, and carpal tunnel and tinnitus in the ears. Please help.
Okay. If you have tinnitus in the ears, Paul, you have osteoporosis of the skull. You need to get a hold of the book and the CD set. It's all in your head. And then at 230 pounds, you need to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, barley, and oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones need to go, and also the carbonated water needs to go. At 230 pounds, you need 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month to full dose everything twice a day. You need 2 bottles a month of the MSMs. You can take 3 with breakfast, 3 with dinner. They're going to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself. You need, for the high blood pressure, I would also have you take, don't forget the collagen peptides. A scoop of that with your morning drink, scoop with your evening drink. That's 2 canisters per month. High blood pressure, you want to get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast or dinner time. Do not cold turkey off your medication, but as your blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. And then because you have tinnitus in the ears, that's telling me that your skull is squeezing the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve. That's a very classic symptom. And I would like to know how many times this guy gets up at night to urinate. Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Okay. He's got all these joint problems because when you have osteoporosis of the skull, you have osteoporosis in every joint of your body, not just your skull. Okay. When you have osteoporosis in every joint in your body, you have osteoporosis in your skull, not just your joints in your body. Okay. We spend on arthritis and osteoporosis each year in America, just to treat the symptoms, $3 trillion a year. $3 trillion a year. Okay, that's because doctors get to treat the patients for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. Whereas if they treat them for cancer, they might treat them for 3 or 6 months and either they live or die. Okay, so we're spending a lot of money on treating the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis because it is what should I say? It is the live stream of the American medical system. But don't forget all those MSM, don't forget the collagen peptides. And depending on where they live, they might want to get vitamin D3 so they can absorb the nutrients, put them in the right place. And then call us every couple of weeks. The cholesterol issue, I want to know what elevated cholesterol means. Okay. And so cholesterol, if it's the good cholesterol, okay, makes up 25% of your brain weight and 25% of your spinal cord weight, and actually prevents Alzheimer's disease, prevents Parkinson's disease, prevents MS and Guillain-Barré syndrome and all that kind of stuff, prevents demyelinization. Myelin is the white matter in the brain, in the spinal cord. It's an essential nutrient. And I believe this is what messed up, our hero,
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Yeah, Bruce Willis. I just have to guess that the doctors had him on a cholesterol restricted diet because he may have had high blood pressure, maybe some blocked arteries. They have put him on cholesterol lowering medication. Okay. And he's paying the price. Okay. So I hope his family gets this information because I believe we can save Bruce Willis. And usually I say, give me 90 days, but he will see benefit long before 90 days, but always give me 90 days, especially when the brain is involved, because we're going to go slow and steady and make sure everything is right. So I just hope to hear from the Bruce Willis family. Okay.
Yes, that would be nice. We don't want him to end his career yet. So I have another question coming in from Patty, and Alan is 62-year-old male, 5'11", 215 pounds, has high blood pressure and is on medications for it, high PSA of 7 regarding the prostate. He has acid reflux, which he takes the medication for, seasonal allergies, which he takes another medication for. And they had just learned about the bad foods. So they're working on the bad foods and they want to know what longevity products that you have come up with would you recommend for Alan, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, well, he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. That's why we have the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then need to get the, let's see here, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. It's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. So 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose of twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. So he can absorb all the nutrients necessary to help rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and all that kind of stuff in his bones and joints and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue, including his arteries. I'm going to watch that. And then because he has a high blood pressure, he needs 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. If he's on medication, do not cold turkey off of it. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, he can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. For the prostate, we do have ProstFX, and he can take 3 of those twice a day if he's not been diagnosed with prostate cancer. If it's just an enlarged prostate, he can have the ProstFX, take 3 twice a day. And let's see here. What is it? I wrote down something like here, like reflex something.
Allergies.
Oh,
So seasonal allergies.
Okay.
We have that seasonal immune pack, which I absolutely love, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, we'll go for the seasonal immune pack. And don't forget the 3 eggs twice a day, 3 eggs twice a day. As soft poached, soft boiled, soft scrambled butter, not hard boiled, not fried. And I think that's where don't forget the rebound or sport drink for energy, a rebound. It would be perfect for this guy. Again, we have 3 forms. We have sticks. There's 30 sticks in a box. There's 100 nutrients in there in each stick. We have the canister. There's 36 servings there in the powder, and it's again 36 servings. It has 100 nutrients, and we do have the 12-ounce cans. There's 12 cans in a case, but the cans do have carbonation in them. So what I recommend is people to pop the tops on 2 of them before they go to bed at night and put them in the refrigerator. They'll be flat in the morning. All the bubbly's gone. I drink one with breakfast and one in the afternoon. And people say, well, if the carbonation is bad, why don't you take it out of there? Well, that's because all these kids that are drinking Red Bull and all these other energy drinks love the carbonation. And if we didn't have the carbonation, they wouldn't even look okay at us. Okay, so we want to educate them on what to do. Red Bull only has 1 mineral, magnesium. We have 75 minerals. By my numbers, 75 minerals are healthier than 1 mineral. Okay. And you can ask Bruce Lee how that 1 mineral magnesium worked for him. He died at 32 of a heart attack. Okay, because he was only taking 1 mineral. He believes he could get everything else he needed from just eating well. That didn't work out because he died at 32 of a heart attack. And he was considered the fitness guru by every country in the world during the 1960s. So I think we're ready for another one.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, I just wanted to talk about the rebound for just a few minutes because, you know, the cans are great if you're just going to be taking it, popping it, put it in the refrigerator, let it go flat, and then drink it. But for those that are active and have an active lifestyle and need to take it with them, I love the sticks, like what Dr. Wallach is holding up right there. That is the powder. You just take one of those 16-ounce water bottles, take a little bit off the top, sip it because you need water anyways. Pour it in there, shake it up, and you're good to go. So, and for those of us who are not always out on the go, the canister is my favorite. And it has the least amount of sugar of all 3 of them if you're concerned about sugar. So great pick-me-up, great way to get your minerals and so much more, Dr. Wallach. It's not a replacement for the 90 essential nutrients.
No,
I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Yeah, and it's because there's things missing in there that you get in the 90 essential nutrients. That's why you got to take it with the 90 essential nutrients. But anyway, you're going to get 100 nutrients twice a day if you take 2 doses of the rebound, because there's 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. If you take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack or the Healthy Start Pack, you're going to get 100 nutrients. So you're going to get 100 nutrients 4 times a day if you're doing this correctly. And so
And I just want, go ahead.
I was going to say, this can add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. This is not difficult. You pay attention to high quality oil in your car. You don't just put dirt from Texas in there. Oh, come on, there's bound to be some oil in that dirt from Texas because it's dirt from Texas. Nobody would do that to their car. That's what you're doing to yourself when you say, just like Bruce Lee did, oh, I'm going to just eat well and get everything I need because my doctor said so.
Well, I love the high octane performance that I put into my body, Dr. Wallach. So what I have, and I don't have everything for the Brain and Heart Pack in my little cart here, but the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, okay, this has the majority of your vitamins, your minerals. It has amino acids. It has a whole food blend. And as I'm looking at this, it's got the 90 essential nutrients. It's gluten-free, it's sugar-free with natural and non-GMO ingredients. And Dr. Wallach, for those that are concerned about ORAC, it has 8,000 total ORAC.
Wow.
Per serving. So that's one of the products in the Healthy Body Pack. Then we have the OsteoFX. This is the Beyond OsteoFX. It's a powder. It has your connective tissue and your bones, the things that's needed to make strong bone marrow, right, Dr. Wallach?
That's correct.
And that includes all the cofactors. Folks, we need more than just calcium. We need more than just magnesium. We need more manganese, phosphorus, zinc, copper, MSM, the trace minerals. So you're getting a few more trace minerals here. Glucosamine, boron, and strontium that pulls it deep into the bones. I mean, if you're looking for a bone and joint formula, this is top of the line. And I love it because it's affordable, Dr. Wallach. And then EFA plus, ultimate EFA plus. This has your omega-3, 6, and 9, nice ratio, so that you're making sure that you get the 90 essential nutrients with these 3, which have your 60 minerals, 12, is it 12 vitamins or 12 amino acids?
I think it's 12
The test.
vitamins.
Okay, 12 vitamins and 16 amino acids, plus your 3 EFAs. So I just wanted to do a little rundown of what is the 90 essential nutrients. Now, for the brain and heart pack, we add another essential fatty acid because they are so important. I mean, Dr. Wallach, you've talked about the essential fatty acids and how they're important for brain, skin, heart, eyes,
Preventing blood clots.
preventing blood clots. They're nature's blood cleaner, folks. Think about that. Nature's blood cleaner. They're pretty spectacular, and you do not want to miss them thinking, oh, that's just fish oil. No, 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 no. There's so much to the essential fatty acids that our body requires if we want to thrive. And then the ultimate selenium with all the cofactors that helps to keep our vessels strong. So I love that, Dr. Wallach. But I wanted to just go over that real quick. Let's go to the next hand that is up, and Carmen, go ahead and unmute yourself. And folks, if you are on live with us, we do have that chat box open. Make sure that you have it open as well. Our co-hosts are putting information in that chat that will help you find the products that Dr. Wallach is mentioning by spelling them out for you. And if you have questions, we do try to get to the questions that are in the chat box also. But if you want to raise your hand, then go ahead and raise your hand and come on live with us. So Carmen.
Hi, I'm in the hospital here with my mom. And so she's on this, they put her back on a feeding liquid stuff because the PEC tube has something wrong with it. And I wanted to know, can I ask the doctor when he looks at her tomorrow morning if he can just keep her on the feeding with the liquid as opposed to the PEC tubes? They can take that out of her stomach since it's having issues, or is that not able to do that? And
Well, this is America. You're able to ask them any question you want.
okay. And then she had double pneumonia, and I've been putting essential oils on her because I can't put anything in her mouth. And she went from double pneumonia to regular plain old pneumonia in one day. So I know they're working. And I just wanted to know if you think it's possible. She's having difficulty swallowing. There's a thing that opens up or something. My sister's trying to explain to me, when you swallow, it goes in one side. When you breathe, it goes on the other.
It's a glottis up here at top.
She has difficulty doing that. So that's why they put the PEC tube in her.
How old is your mom? How old is your mom?
94, should be 95 in a week or two.
Yeah, the odds are she has osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the 9th cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, which causes that part of the digestive system to not be able to swallow. Okay. Changes the voice, knocks off the voice. Okay.
So if I put the minerals on her, will that help her to swallow better? Because we're waiting for them tomorrow. The minerals should come, the longevity stuff tomorrow.
Yeah, you can rub the minerals on her, and I want you to get a hold. There's a DVD and a CD set called "Praise the Lord and Pass the 90." It's a story about Pastor Mike Freeman, who was in a coma for 6 months, and the doctors said, "Oh, he's only got hours or days at the most to live here." So Linda Tyler, one of our great distributors from up there in Baltimore, Maryland, and Pastor Mike's wife, rubbed their plant minerals, a half a teacup on his chest and his belly and his back between his shoulder blades and lower back 3 times a day for 3 days. He wakes up. He shaves. Cool. He goes back to work at the church, at the TV studio and the radio studio, and tells the story to the world for the whole day. And fortunately, he recovered all that and recorded it. Okay. And so we made a tool out of it. You can get the tool by going to the www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. Get a hold of that tool. Okay.
Okay.
And, let's see here. It's called Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. By just rubbing those minerals on him, he came out of a death spiral. The doctor said he only had hours or days to live at the most.
Okay. And they got her on antibiotics for 8-hour drip. And
Okay,
so
antibiotics can be useful, you know, if somebody her age is in a serious problem, especially in a hospital, you want antibiotics because it's the
okay, so
nurse is coming from one room, so somebody's got COVID or some pneumonia.
okay. All right. I just wanted to check with you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you. Let us know how mom doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Becca.
All right. Thank you so much, Carmen. Dr. Wallach, have you ever used a mouse?
I'm sorry?
They're supposed to work. Have you ever played with a mouse?
Well,
Not
yeah.
like a, yeah.
You're
Well,
talking
I'm
about
not talking
a little
about,
furry animal.
I'm not talking about the furry animals. I'm talking about these things. Don't always work when you want them to.
Oh.
But let's go ahead and go to Michael. And just a reminder, everybody, if somebody shared this program with you, get back with them. Make sure that you tell them thank you. Thank you for sharing this information, and ask them how they get their products, because there's a chance that they have a special way to get their products. If there's no one to thank, you are welcome to go to dailywithdoc.com. There you will find all of the replays from our past programming. You will also find Dr. Wallach's Good Foods, Bad Foods list. You'll find a way that you can sign up for our newsletter. And also you will find a store that has all of the products that Dr. Wallach is mentioning on today's program and every program. Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello, Michael. Michael, can you unmute? No. All right, we're going to go ahead and go to Marilyn, who has another question, Dr. Wallach, from the chat. Marilyn.
Okay, I'm not sure, Becca or Dr. Wolf, if you can answer this, but do you know the difference between our seasonal immune pack? This was a question in the chat versus the Immune 911. I don't have the specific ingredients to add.
I know the answer to that. Immune 911 is just one product that has stuff that helps to build the immune system. The seasonal immune pack actually has 5 different tablets that helps to support the immune system in a much bigger way, but it also gives that added little stuff that helps with allergies through nutrition and also some herbal synergy. So that is the difference between Immune 911.
Fantastic. That was from Corey. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. All right, Michael, are you able to unmute yet? All right, we're going to go to the next question, Dr. Wallach. And in an email, we have a Michael also that is writing in, different last name. He says, I am 59 years old, 330 pounds, with hypothyroidism, fatty liver, gluten sensitivity, so there's a chance he's already avoiding it, high lead and aluminum, bloating. He says, don't have a BM every day. He has dry skin, high estrogen, high testosterone, and the gallbladder has been removed, Dr. Wallach. So what would you recommend for Michael? He doesn't mention, you know, how many times he gets up to go to the restroom, but he has quite a bit of stuff going on here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. And again, that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. That's very important, so you can absorb things and utilize them. And then at 330 pounds, ideally, he would have 3 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose of everything 3 times a day. If finances are an issue, don't go below 2. Okay. Then he needs a minimum of 2 bottles a month of the MSM, because I want him to have 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. Okay. And that's going to help him rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and all that kind of stuff. I want him to have our collagen peptides. He can take a scoop of that with his morning drink, a scoop of that with his lunch drink, and a scoop of that with his evening drink. So he'll need 2 canisters a month for that. Okay. And so it helps, again, with everything, including the immune system, which is your bone marrow. so he can make white blood cells to go out there and kill the bad guys and so forth. And then I also, because he has his gallbladder taken out, I want him to have our gallbladder in a bottle. It's called our Ultimate Enzymes. It does have bile in it to replace what you're not getting because the doctors took the gallbladder out. I want him to have, say, 2 or 3 of those, say 10 minutes before each meal. Okay, with a couple ounces of water. And he'll be able to absorb the fat soluble vitamins, essential fatty acids, and all that kind of stuff, all the good stuff. All right. And then I want him also to take 1 meal a day, our keto shake. 1 meal a day, our keto shake. It comes in chocolate and strawberry. It's not to be added to a meal. It's a meal replacer. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day, but he can lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And at 5, let's see here, his height, I
think he was 5'11", Doc.
5'11", okay, almost 6 foot. Yeah, he should weigh about 200 pounds, so he's about 100, 130 pounds overweight. And this is very easy to do. Okay, just take that 1 meal. Again, it's not to be added to a meal. It's a meal replacer. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day. And again, it comes in chocolate or strawberry, so you can kind of, you know, have both of them, so you're not getting bored with one flavor all the time. And so he'll lose a half pound, 2 pounds a day. And because he has a thyroid issue, in addition, I want him to have 2 bottles a month of our Ocean's Gold, so he can take 3 at breakfast or dinner time. I want him to have 2 bottles a month of our Fucoid Z, which is seaweed from another ocean. So he can take 3 of those twice a day. I do that. I only weigh 142, and I take 3 of each twice a day. And then also he needs the Z radical. He needs a couple of ounces twice a day, even 3 times a day would be okay for him. He's a big guy. Okay. And then don't forget the rebounder, sports drink. This guy, the reason why he's so heavy, he's really, really seriously deficient in nutrients, particularly minerals. And that's why he eats all the time. That's why he's so big. As soon as he starts doing everything correctly, he'll slowly lose about a half a pound, 2 pounds a day. But don't forget the rebounder, sports drink. Again, we talked about that a little earlier. We have the sticks. There's 30 sticks in a box. We have the canister. There's 36 servings in the canister. We do have the 12-ounce cans, 12 in a case. The cans do have carbonation in them, so I like to pop the tops on them, 2 of them before I go to bed at night, put them in the refrigerator so that they're flat and all the bubbly's gone by morning. And again, we keep those because the kids are the ones with the carbonation in them. But then we educate them to get off the carbonation once they start with us, okay? And so we don't just leave them to do the carbonation until they die, okay? We make sure that they know that they want to really, really work on getting rid of the carbonation. But at any rate, that covers this fella. Michael?
So Dr. Wallach, he had mentioned hypothyroidism. And I know that the thyroid.
Ocean's Gold. Oh, I said Ocean's Gold, and I said
Yep.
Q-Type Z and Z Radical. All 3 of those will support the thyroid. Mm-hmm.
Now the thyroid needs iodine, right? Whether it's hypo, or just having a thyroid with no concerns.
Okay, the thyroid gland requires all 90 essential nutrients. It uses uses iodine to make the hormone, and I don't like to, tell people that over the air because they just run to the store and buy iodine, and then they wonder why they die.
We have something called Ultimate Iodine, Dr. Wallach, and it includes vitamin B12, iodine, zinc, selenium, and copper that all work together to help support the thyroid. And that's something that I added during my weight loss journey. Is I added 3 sprays of this twice a day.
It's a little spray bottle.
Whenever I hit plateaus, when I hit a plateau is when I started adding this, and it's just little sprays right under the tongue. And boy, I had more energy.
Well, how much weight did you lose in your journey?
I'm down 105 pounds.
Wow. Lost 105 pounds. That's beautiful.
No, I didn't lose it.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't lose it. I said
kicked it
goodbye. See ya. Because I'm not going to find it back. So, and that's majority of that 100 pounds, Dr. Wallach, has been for the last 3 years. So, yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you. So let's go to my friend Bobby. Bobby, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Daily with Doc.
Hello, Rebecca Dukes, my friend, and Dr. Wallach. Have a male, 62 years old, 6'1", 262 pounds, and having problems with gout, high blood pressure, constipation, and eating junk food.
I'm sorry, eating what?
Junk food.
Oh. All right. Well, again, people who eat junk food are usually minerally deficient. And so they're craving snacks all the time. They might eat 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 meals a day. That's why they gain so much weight. And once you start taking the 90 essential nutrients, a lot of that craving goes away, and it's easy to lose the weight when you throw in the keto shake. He needs 1 keto shake a day. Okay, it could be the chocolate or the strawberry, or rotate them around so you don't get bored with one flavor. He needs to get rid of all the bad foods. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And then absolutely no, let's see here, no wheat, butter, or oats, no buckwheat, get rid of the gluten and the phagopyrenes. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. Okay, we're talking about ham, bacon, bologna, salami, hot dogs, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky, corned beef, spam, all that stuff's got to go. And then the gout is problems, in your joints. Okay, and so again, we do have the things we told this guy to take. Okay, again, it's the shake. He needs the shake. Okay, the keto shake, 1 a day. Don't go to any more than that, because then you're getting into nutritional trouble. So you need just 1 keto shake a day. It's not to add to a meal, it's a meal replacer. And then again, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day, or even three times a day, help get rid of the high blood pressure. And don't cold turkey off the medication, but as the blood pressure drops, you can reduce the medication. Let's see here. So I think we're covering things. If he wants pain medication for the gout, he can use our CM cream topically on the joints, and it'll give him very, very good pain relief for anywhere from 2 to 5 hours. Okay, kind of thing. But these sorts of things we see people all the time, athletes, military personnel, people who do factory work, and gout usually runs along with thyroid problems. Okay, so it wouldn't hurt to take the Ocean's Gold, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month, and the Fucoid Z, take 3 of those twice a day, and then the Z Radical. You want to take a couple of ounces of that with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the Z Radical. It's also going to help with these issues.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And we have time for one more quick question. And Ruth Ellen, do you have a question for Dr. Wallach? Please unmute yourself.
I do. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so I have a question from Facebook. It is from Charla. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's CHARLA. Says, good afternoon. I have a client who's female, 120 pounds, 5'6", following your protocol of food, no gluten, oats, also sticking to the bad foods list because I did ask. Is on a healthy brain and heart pack and is wondering how long before ear ringing, dry skin, stressed tummy, teeth aching will start to reduce and go away. She is also taking, I got to scroll down, sorry, collagen, Synaptive, De-Stress, Glucogel, plant-derived minerals, and Sweet Ease. She's been on the product since October of 22. And I do know that it does depend on the damage to the small intestines repairing itself before absorption is better.
Yeah, and so she should be, you know, after 3 to 6 months, so she should be healing her small intestines, but she's got to watch out for cross-contamination in the household. Everybody in the household, including the dog and the rat and the parrot and spouse and kids, mother-in-law, everybody's got to be gluten-free. She can't be the only one gluten-free in the household because there'll be cross-contamination in the laundry, the dryer, food preparation surfaces, even the car. When people are eating crackers and cookies and things like that. And again, these big long sticks with salt all over them.
Pretzels.
Yeah, pretzel sticks. Yeah. Okay. So they're gluten. You go to a restaurant, even if they're bringing you something that's gluten-free, guess what? They're making it on a surface that has gluten on it. I like Jimmy Carter. I don't want to talk about his politics, but he's 98 years old, doesn't have any issues. He's been eating grits his whole life for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is just a cornmeal. No wheat, butter, or oats. He's been, let's see here, also for breakfast, he has 3 eggs every morning. He has dairy, he has milk and cheese and butter with every meal. Everything the doctors say don't do, he's done, and he's 98. Okay, they want to put him in hospice because he's 98 and said, if you have a heart attack or something, we can help. If you're in hospice, we can save you. Okay, but if it's going to take him a half hour to get an ambulance out there and blah, 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 you'll die before you get to the hospital. He says, no, thank you. I'll just stick it out at home. I'm doing pretty good right now because he's still fishing and, playing golf and all that kind of stuff at 98. And so, and also for lunch, he has, let's see here. He has
Dr. Wallach,
food. Yeah.
I hate to interrupt you, Dr. Wallach, but you've got to go.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you. You can finish it up.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for joining us here. Bye, Doc.
Bye.
On Daily with Doc, my name is Becca Dukes, and if I could have my other co-host up with me. So we have the wonderful Ruth Ellen Sanchez. She's had a lot of stretching and growth over this last month and a half or so, in making sure that we learn how to do this live streaming stuff. It's more than just going live on Facebook whenever you are doing a Zoom, doing a large broadcast, and streaming to multiple different platforms. So if you are a Rumble user, go to Critical Health News and follow our Rumble channel. If you're on YouTube, again, Critical Health News, follow us. And if you are on Facebook, it's just Critical Health. Okay, somebody else got that news part. We're working on getting it, but Critical Health, follow us on Facebook. We appreciate you for joining us here each and every day. I know some of them are diehards. Speaking of diehard, we have some people that come on each and every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And we're so glad you do, because that just proves that you value yourself enough to show up and be a sponge, so that whenever you encounter somebody that you love or somebody in your community, you are armed with information that can help them also. So be that sponge, soak it all up, squeeze it out, plant seeds. And folks, if you have ever thought about making a little bit of income from home, look into our health coach program. You can become a distributor without going through the health coach program. But if you want to become a distributor, an associate with longevity, and really have it powerful, that program by the Institute of Holistic Health, you can find more information at Coach with Becca, or get back with the person that shared this program with you and ask if they know about the coaching program. Until next time, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.